Morning. Um, so yeah, didn't have a great day yesterday. I got through the day, and what did I do? After my last video, I think I had some lunch. I had baked beans on a muffin, and I'm trying to think if I meditated yesterday. Sorry. So I used the last of everything that was in the house last night because I didn't want to have the temptation to be there. Which might have been a really stupid idea because I didn't need to smoke that much. And now this morning I'm just coughing up all this black stuff. I feel fine. My heart feels good. My head, thoughts feel fine. I just, I just got some shit going on. I don't know what that's about. I can't remember why I picked up my phone now to look at something. Yeah, that's right. I was going to see how long I meditated yesterday. No, that was all morning stuff. So I didn't meditate then. But what did I do? Yeah, I had something to eat. I didn't really do much else. I didn't do any house chores. I didn't go to the gym. I didn't do anything like that. But I did, I do recognize that reading, the breaking the habit, just reading actually is seems to be quite good. And even if I had to reread the odd paragraph every now and again, because I was struggling to focus, it does take me out of my head. And then the next thing I knew, it was time for me to go to pole. I didn't go from 5 where I usually go then and stretch. So I think, did I eat beforehand? I can't remember. I really can't remember anything right now. No, I don't eat. I think I ate the baked beans at around 3 or 3:30. So I guess I didn't really feel that hungry then. And then, I went to pole, danced for 2 hours, which really made me feel a lot better. It took me out of my head. And I guess I had this kind of big question mark above my head of what to do, because yesterday would have been day 4 of taking IMREST in a row, and I knew I didn't want to do that, so I had a Seroquel instead of an IMREST. I don't know if that makes a difference. I'm sure it would, because it would bind to different receptors, and so those receptors would still have a break. My body is still getting, yes, a kind of sedative, but I think they are sort of different classes, so it sort of triggers different things in the body, even though they produce the same effect, if that makes sense. I think that's how it works anyway. I'm not a pharmacist or a doctor or anything like that. That's just how I'm thinking about it to go about it. Because I don't think I'm at the stage where I can just have a couple of Valium and not. Plus, also last night, because it was so hot yesterday, I went to sleep with all the windows. I mean, the fly screen's obviously shut, but only the front door was shut. Really, my bedroom window was open, the living room window was open. I had both the double French doors open, and 5 windows from the sunroom open, just trying to get the house to cool down a little bit. So yeah, Silly's just going to sit in the house. Yeah, I don't know. I think my downfall yesterday was not having a plan. Things were a bit wishy-washy for myself on what I was going to do that evening. even if it was go to the bloody, what's it called, open mic night, which I probably should have done, but I felt like with how my mental health was going yesterday, putting me in an environment full of strangers and a racist, he's not, like, he's mildly racist, but, like, not, like, in a fucking harmful kind of way, just in a he likes dating Asian chicks kind of way, which I think is racist. So, yeah, this bloke, was trying to pressure me to come along to what was the last open mic night for the year and stuff. And I was like, yeah, no, not feeling okay, sorry. And I think if he had kept pushing me, I probably would have maybe even like acted on the suicide plan that I mentioned yesterday. Mum was also calling and overwhelming me a bit. She called me like I'm at pole, and I don't know, like, I guess there's this jerk in my head that thinks that because I'm always talking about pole, because it's always on a Wednesday, because it's so set in my routine, and I talk about it so much, whether it's in this video or in a conversation or in something like that, or even in asking her money to help me pay for a term. I don't know, I create this expectation that she knows where I'm at. Anyway, I got annoyed because I happened to be filming, and I looked over at the camera to see if it got the trick that I was doing in it, and Mum was calling, and I was just like, fuck, I'm not strong enough to do this again. So I called Mum and I was a bitch to her. And then I said I'd call her when I finished class. Mum just wanted to call because of my videos yesterday and said that, you know, they were concerning and she was there if I wanted to talk. But I don't know, I was just having a go at her because she's like, how are you feeling now? And I'm like, do you mean like in this isolated moment in time? Or do you mean because I've just finished pole? Or do you mean in comparison to the videos that I've put up? Because I will answer you those questions in 3 different ways. Like, how are you feeling now is very, very broad. And if you're trying, like, I don't know. So, like, that's the kind of mood I was in, where I was like, I don't know what you're asking me because that's a very broad question. Could you please be more specific? Otherwise, I will give you an incredibly vague answer, and this conversation is going to go nowhere if I just keep giving you vague answers. I wasn't trying to be a bitch. I wasn't trying to be instigatory. It was just really just too much for me to try and figure out what she was asking me. Basically, she just wanted to know, do I feel better? Am I safe? But, you know, she's like, how do you feel now? I'm like, the fuck does that mean? You can't just start a phone conversation with, how do you feel now? Or, like, I mean, you can, Mum, I know you're watching this. I'm not having a go at you. I'm just saying, like, this is how it just sort of spun me out and, yeah, made things worse. And then I made my mum feel bad for just trying to help, which made me feel bad. And, like, I guess kept saying to her, I was just like, well, yeah, now you know why Erica left and why she's sick of me and, you know, why did you expect anything to be any differently when you said that I was always the baby that cried and whinged and needed to be held and wouldn't sleep unless she was held, and that, you know, it was so much easier when Erica came along because she never complained about anything, she never blah 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 blah. And then even as I got older, it was always, why can't you be more like Erica? Why Erica doesn't cry, Erica doesn't complain, Erica doesn't, you know, Erica doesn't cause a fuss. Erica does what she's told. Erica just, you know, why can't you be more like Erica? Because I'm fucking not Erica. May. Duh. I don't like the status quo, and I will always question it. Because I love to learn and question things rather than just be told a fact and then take it as fact. incapable of forming my own opinions, even as a child. Apparently that wasn't welcome. Anyway, welcome to my rambly post-potty brain. One thing I am becoming really aware of is that I seem to be moving through this kind of cycle almost on a weekly basis. I haven't, I'm sure if I went back through the archives and watched these videos, I'll have days where I'm tracking really well, and then something happens, and then I don't react well, and then I spiral out and I relapse, and then it's never a one night off. Haven't had a one-off night relapse sort of situation. It's been like I'll relapse, I'll feel bad about it the next day, I'll counteract that bad feeling by smoking the rest of what I have so that I don't have the temptation to do it again. And then I can't remember what the pattern is for the next day. I think I make it through the next day because I have so much like residual, whatever in my bloodstream or in my fat cells or wherever it's fucking kept. And so, yeah, today I feel fine because I'm probably still a little bit, stoned. I was up until 1 a.m. smoking. If that gives any indications. That's like, 9 hours ago. So, it's probably still in my system and stuff. Oh my goodness, I am so tired. And I feel really sick today. I think it's because I smoked so much last night, obviously, but I'm like coughing up a lot of black stuff. And my uterus feels really gross. And I don't know what that's about. And that's getting me a bit worried. But it's okay. Yeah. I don't know. Sal's like not coming anywhere near, like she's not clingy like last time, so yeah, I don't think, because obviously I'm speculating on it a bit, I don't think it's pregnancy. 1, because of Sal. 2, because of just everything. I've already explained that. I think what it is it's might be a blockage in my sacral chakra because of what happened on Monday night. That area is where we house our creativity and our inspiration and our self-esteem and self-confidence, like everything to do with us, like that is the origin, like the birthplace of things, all comes from that spot. And so I think it would make sense that would be a little bit blocked right now. Because I do feel shit about myself, like this shitty interaction with this human being that I thought, anyway, it wasn't that bad, like it was great, it's just that he's been kind of shitty since, and yeah, I really need to be more disciplined in protecting myself. And as I'm saying that, like, I can see that and be compassionate towards myself, that because of being on drugs for the last couple of years, and it's even just the way that I am. Even I noticed it last night when I was smoking, and I messaged the drummer from the Getaway Plan, and it's so when I'm not in a period of abstinence, let's put it that way, when I'm not in a period of abstinence, I'm incredibly impulsive. And I think that's where the big danger is as well, when like suicidal ideations come up, especially when I have access. Because I'll act on it without thinking about it. And I need to to be more reserved and calculated and take the time to understand all of the information, look at all sides of the story, and then decide how to act, instead of just being like, you hit me, I'm going to hit you back, kind of like, or just being so reactionary rather than taking action, if that makes sense. So maybe that's where I don't know, planning could come into it, but I feel like I lack the discipline, particularly in the moment where I'm feeling unpleasant emotions, to be able to take the time to weigh up the short-term benefits against the long-term, because it's great that Kelly's there for me to talk about things, and she can say, she's like, Bill's giving you what you want, but not enough of it, and it's spinning you out. And I'm like, is he giving me anything? She's like, well, you are getting intimacy from him, but he's just not available any other time. And I think that will do more long-term damage if you keep. And I know that too. She asked me, what am I thinking, when I finally heard from Bill the first time, I told him what he said. Hey, hope you had a good day. This is yesterday. So yeah, I need to really just fucking step back. And I say that, how many times have I said that in these videos? Anyway, I've rambled out this camera for enough. I'm sure you've all got better shit to do. So desperate to understand everything that's going on, that like I found my tarot reading in December. Internal turmoil. It was the 5 of Cups for those of you who know tarot. Internal turmoil, deep sorrow, relationships breakup, loss of a loved one, concerning on loss and not seeing. So yeah, I need to shift my fucking mental space. I'll figure that out. Catch ya.